Yo, Patreonians, what's going on, man? Hope y'all doing well. I just wanted to come on here and tell y'all a couple of my thoughts as we get ready to jumpstart this season. All right. Let me start with some of the more recent stuff. Second round pick signed his deal. Now I know you guys saw that I did a show with Zach and Matt just the other day, but I was really happy for the young man. He signed a deal that got 88% of it guaranteed, which is more than what his pick where he slotted normally gets. Um, but if he was the first domino to fall in the signings of the second round guys, I could see how the rest of the people might have been a little upset. However, I don't think that these agents weren't already working together. Uh, he was the first domino to fall after the first two guys got the fully guaranteed, and then after that, the announcements started coming in like one after the other. Right, same way that no one was signing, that was the agents all working together. So, I put on a little seasoning on it for the show, right? But the truth of the matter is, they worked all this stuff out behind the scenes, and other people were going to start their announcements as well. The agents all fought. They did what they did was they increased the amount of the percentages of guarantees for these players, and they did a good thing. It was a step in the right direction for the second round picks, and that's going to continue to happen as the money continues to pour into the NFL. All right, and there's so many new avenues of income that the teams are just making money hand over fist, we're getting closer and closer to the NFL not being as concerned with high percentage guarantees. So kudos to Alfred Collins. Happy for him. Happy for the league and the direction that they're heading in with these highly touted draft picks. Okay. Um, the other thing is this Jawan Jennings news. This I want to be traded if I can't get a new deal. I think he's absolutely handling this the right way. And again, I know I went over this already on the show with Zach and Matt. Right? He is absolutely handling it the right way. He's got the team. He's never going to have more leverage than what he has right now at this very moment. Pearsall second year, Cowing second year, one guy facing a suspension, one guy injured, and who knows when he's going to be coming back. He is wide receiver one. If there's ever a time to go out there and get your money, it's the last year of your deal. That's a checkbox. When you're the team's best option at that position, that's a checkbox. And when the team knows that you have a value, right? And that's another checkbox. They know what Jawan Jennings brings to the table. And I see people already getting upset. Oh, if he wants to be traded, then trade him. I don't know how many times we have to say it. This whole requesting to be traded is just a part of the negotiation. I mean, we saw Myles Garrett write a goodbye letter to the fans of Cleveland. He wasn't going anywhere. This is just a tactic, right? He took his a step a lot further than just saying, grant me permission to trade me. Like that, he took it a lot further than that. He wasn't going anywhere. We saw the rumors about T.J. Watt come out and potentially could be traded. And da 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 da. Boom, resets the market for non-quarterbacks. Right, like just goes out there and signs a $123 million deal or $132 million, whatever it was. Right, but he goes out there and he gets the money amidst the trade rumors. This is just negotiating in the 2020s, guys. That's just what it is. And so I applaud Jawan Jennings for what he's doing. Period. That's where my opinion on what Jawan Jennings is doing stops. There's two sides to this coin, though. If I'm the Niners, what would I do? Do I give him a bunch of money? Do I try to find a trade partner? Do I restructure his current contract and add some incentives? Do I add on some years to it? Like, what do I do if I'm the 49ers? And this is the best part of it all. There is nothing that the 49ers can do that is going to be a wrong decision. If they decide to trade him, cool. Right? Some fans will be upset about it. They love Jawan. He is a fan favorite. There's no mistakes about that. He is definitely a fan favorite. If they decided to trade Jawan Jennings, They're going to get something in return, so that's a positive, right? People just assume it's going to be a draft pick. It could be for a position of need. It could be for a guard. So I don't know what it could be for, but a backup tackle that another team has that's wide receiver need. Who knows, right? There's things that they could do to improve the team for this season. If it does become a draft pick for the next season, um, and they have control too, right? The Niners have all the control. I talked about Juwan Jennings never having more leverage than what he's going to have, but the truth is the control still lies with the team. Period. Period. He can sit out if he wants to. That's cool, but you're not doing anything by doing that. You're hurting yourself. And he's going to end up playing. We trade him, cool. We don't trade him and we keep him without extending him, also cool for the Niners. He can't go out there and half-ass it. He plays too physical of a brand of football. Corners don't like him. Linebackers don't like him. He's too physical. So he can't go out there and half-ass it with what he's already got out there on film. He's going to have to play the Juwan Jennings standards. But playing Juwan Jennings standards blocking is very different than playing the Juwan Jennings standards as a wide receiver. And this is where it gets tricky. Because of all those points that I made with the leverage, with the team knowing what you bring to the table, with the team relying on him to be a top wide receiver option, defenses are going to be planning for him. And so I don't think that we're going to see another close to 1,000-yard season from Juwan Jennings ever again. So if that's the mindset, if that's what you really think, I think another year of Pearsall, I think Ayuk is eventually back, right? We drafted a rookie wide receiver pretty high like this. Well, not pretty high. I won't say pretty high, but we have drafted more rookie wide receivers. I mean, we've signed some free agent wide receivers. We've invested in that position. We just gave Ayuk a ton of money. This all tells me that it might be okay to move on from Juwan Jennings a year early. Could we use him this year? For sure. Absolutely. But he's not going to make or break this offense. Sorry, but he's not. Will we miss some of the things that he does? Absolutely. But this offense does not revolve around while I do think he's important and he's key, I don't think that it changes the game plan if he's not in. Now, if he's not in and Pearsall regresses in the sophomore season, we don't get anything out of Cowan, all of a sudden it's like, man, we could really use Juwan Jennings, right? Cool. We could miss him on certain possession and in certain possession situations. But the team has all the cards. They have all the cards. Keep them, trade them, keep them, tag them. Like they have all the cards, right? Tagging him would be cheaper than probably giving him a whole new deal for what he's probably. I don't know what he's asking for. The agent should ask for the moon every time you go to the table for negotiations. You should always do that. You're gonna probably hear some stories. Juwan Jennings asking the Niners for $21 million a year, and people can be like, "He doesn't deserve that." Fuck him. They're gonna turn against him more. They're gonna turn against him even more than what they already have because of the trade stuff. Not that he thinks he should get $21 million a year. I'm sure he wants $21 million a year. But if Ayuk had to do all of this as option 4, what option is Juwan Jennings if Ayuk was option 4? Does that make him option 5? Well, Debo's gone, so now boom, bump him up to 4. Oh, wait a minute, but Pearsall's here. When Ayuk said that he was option 4, Pearsall wasn't here. It was Christian McCaffrey, Debo Samuel, George Kittle, then Brandon Ayuk. Was I saying Debo this whole time? Anyway, that's what made Ayuk option 4. Pearsall wasn't included in that. Now we got Pearsall here. We still have so you got Pearsall, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle. Eventually, you got Brandon Ayuk. How much are you willing to pay the 5th option in your offense? I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, but it's not going to be smart for the Niners to extend him to big money. You want to try to give him something decent, 12, 13 million a year? All right, I could see that. I don't know if he's going to accept that. He could make that money somewhere else as a free agent next year. I think he would make that money somewhere else as a free agent next year. Probably a little bit more. He'd probably get closer to 15 million a year, 16 million a year. I don't think the Niners should pay that though. I'm talking about the value of him when this cast is complete. I don't think you pay a fifth option in your offense that much money a year. And so because of that, I would be okay with whatever it is that the 49ers decide to do. That's it on the Juwan Jennings thing. That's all I got. But I do have some concerns going into the season, and Brock Purdy is not one of them. I know a lot of people think that I don't like Brock Purdy or whatever, and I don't know where that perception comes from. I think Brock is serviceable. I think he's a decent quarterback. I think he's a good quarterback. It's kind of like it for me. I'm not afraid in any game with Brock Purdy other than certain weather situations or being down too much. I don't think he's that guy that can really sling the ball around the field to bring us back. When he starts incorporating his legs when we're trailing, that is great. That is a huge plus for Brock Purdy. All right, so I'm okay and I'm confident in the ability of Brock Purdy. Period. But there is a big name that I'm concerned with, and I'm starting to think that Nick Bosa. I don't know that he's the guy that we think he is. We've seen Joey Bosa's career. When you take a step back and compare it to Nick Bosa's career, it's kind of similar, right? You got that big twilight season, and then you kind of just middling around in the close to the double-digit sack area. But last year, he wasn't even good against the run. Like, I don't really know what was up with him in the run game. And people are going to say, oh, well, PFF has him ranked as I don't care. I know what I saw. I know what my eyes told me. My eyes say that Nick Bosa took a step back. People are going to say, well, Michael, the teams were hyper-focusing. We have to stop saying that about Nick Bosa, about edge rushers. There's 5 offensive linemen and a tight end. Sometimes a running back is held back. All those guys aren't blocking Nick Bosa on every single play. I'm sorry, but he's not being triple and quadruple teamed like everyone wants to make it sound like he is. He's not. He's not. We got to stop with that narrative. Nick Bosa's production has been lacking recently. It has been. If a team came to you as the Niners and said, we'll offer you a first round for Nick Bosa, should they take it? I don't know. But what do you guys think? I want to know your guys' thoughts. It's going to be a short 15-minute video. I'm not gonna drag this out. I'm outside of the grocery store. My wife is inside shopping. And she's like, you want to come in? Absolutely not. No, I don't want to come in. I hate walking around the store just going through every single aisle. She's just like, oh, we could get some of this. Or we could get some of that. I don't want to do any of that. So no, I don't want to do that. But here's my point, though, with everything that I'm saying. If the Niners were to get a good offer for Nick Bosa, should they take it? Would you guys trade Nick Bosa for a starting right tackle? Let me know in the comments. Would you guys trade Nick Bosa for a starting left tackle? Just player for player, straight up. Would you? I don't know. I'm asking your guys' opinion on this, right? You can't pay him less. The contract is a contract. He's going to get the top 5 edge rusher money in the NFL, top 5 non-quarterback money in the NFL. That's where he's slotted in right now. Thanks, Myles Garrett. Thanks, T.J. Watt. He's going down the list a little bit, but he's still up there, right? And based off of the last 2 seasons, is his production replaceable? Yes. How long are we going to hold on to that one really good season, right? Like, how long are we going to hold on to it? Eric Armstead was a double-digit sack guy one time, and they got him a really big deal for the 49ers. But the Niners paid him that money for a different reason. They thought they were getting a twofer in that guy. They thought they were getting a defensive tackle and a defensive end. And they did. They did, essentially. But, a lot of movement and all that stuff, master of none type of thing, right? But they did get a good player out of Eric Armstead. I don't think we're necessarily getting that out of Nick Bosa right now. And I'm not saying that Nick Bosa is a worse player than Eric Armstead. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm just saying is I think the reason they paid him was to be a run-stopping pass rusher off of the edge. And that's what we're not getting. That's what we're not getting. And so if that's the case, that's the kind of contract you need to move away from. What if those 3 defensive linemen that we picked up, what if all those guys are studs? What if they're all really, really, really good, just straight out the gate? Production is high. They stop the run. They pressure quarterbacks. They're getting sacks. What if they're going crazy? Insert Huff, the free agent acquisition. What if he starts producing? Do you need Nick Bosa at that price? Answer it in the comments, guys. Let me know what you think. It's going to be something that we're going to have to pay a lot of attention to. And expect me to do a lot of overreacting during and after every single game with players that I don't think are living up to their contracts this year. All right? Listen, that's all I got for you guys. I said 15 minutes. We're up to 16. I'll talk to y'all soon, man. I hope everybody out there is having a great day. You guys be safe, and we'll talk soon.